Well, when I measure this thing out, I've actually got this marked. I found center on my axle housing and marked it and determined my wheelbase all the way from the front. And then when I strike a vertical line on my frame, I mean bubble in the center, and then when I come off of a factory hole in that factory frame up there and come back, I am 47 7/8 inches to front of my housing, and the same over there on that side. And I'm in the same, and I've done the same here to the outside of my axle housing, face of this. I'm within a 1/16 of an inch or closer every way that I can measure it. And I'm degreed up 4 degrees. I've got 4 degrees positive on that pinion, into that pinion shaft, and and I'm 4 degrees down on my tranny, 4 degrees negative up there. So measuring this everywhere I can, and get it within a 1/16 of an inch. I think that's probably close enough for the girls that Brown goes out with. I don't think it's going to run down the road sideways. If it does, I'll fix it, but I don't think it's going to. I think what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and weld that in place. On the back side of my axle housing, I can come up to the frame and tack it in place, and then you actually weld it pretty good because that's out of the way of where I'll be putting anything other than possibly my airbags, the bag plates right there. But that would allow me to hold that in place while I go ahead and get my 4-link brackets built and mounted on there. And then once I get those links in place and bolted up, then I can cut my brackets loose, my temporary supports loose, and then go ahead and decide where I'm going to mount the bags. I think I'm going to put them, instead of right over the axle housing, I think I'm going to put them right behind it. That way I can have more travel, whatever I need. Okay, that's enough of this. That is just enough of this. Y'all probably be sick of this. Last couple of videos been a whole lot about very little. Well, what I'm doing right now is I'm adjusting these. Let me see if I got you in frame here. Yeah, I'm adjusting these out so that I have a little bit of threads here, 4 or 5 threads here, and make them both about the same, and that will give me a little bit of adjusting room. I don't expect I'm going to need very much adjustment on these, but I want a little bit, so I've got those two adjusted out about the same. I'll go ahead and tighten those down once I'm done here, but in the meantime, what I'm doing next is I want to make sure they're both exactly the same length, so I've run a bolt through this end, and I guess you can see that, and then I'll adjust these until my bolt fits well centered on these. So, and I'll probably go, rather than taking this one in, I'll probably take this one out and until I get them both the same. But what I was going to mention is my friend Frank, who bought that Canyon Nash, and I don't know, he and I just kind of hit it off. I really like the guy. He's very helpful, very friendly, very giving with information, and he's the one who turned me on to these kits. I saw this over at his place and started asking him about them, and he told me where he got them and how inexpensive they were, and that he was pleased with them. And he used to do a lot of racing, so he kind of knows what it takes to hold up. And anyway, what he did, he's putting his on a 1950 Nash two-door, which he bought. He found this thing back in Michigan. He has property there, grew up there, has properties that he manages there. And while he was back there, he ran across this two-door 1950 Nash that was already tubbed. And maybe I'll throw a picture up here. He sent me a picture of what he's doing with his linkage. But he lengthened his. Anyway, that thing is tubbed and came with a Ford 9-inch, already shortened. And he stole it. And for a guy who used to be a detective, you wouldn't think he'd steal things, but he stole it. He got it for $400. That whole rig all tubbed and the 9-inch shortened and ready to go. And he's going to make kind of a ratty type rod out of it. Probably not a lot of paint. Slam it on the ground. Do various things with it. Fun stuff. But we're already talking about how much fun it'd be to go for a cruise once we get these all up and running. But what he did, he had to lengthen his for that Nash. These were not nearly long enough. So when he lengthened them, what he did was he put a Heim joint in here and reversed the threads so that all he has to do is turn this pipe and he can adjust the length by turning this. Now on these, the threads are run the same way, so I would have to take one end loose and turn it in or out in order to make any kind of adjustments. But that's no big deal. I don't expect to have to make a whole lot of adjustments. It's not like I'm going to be setting it up for racing and then tearing it down for street and all that. I'm just going to be basically, cruising around in this thing. But I don't want it to fall apart, should I spin a tire, because, accidents happen. I might accidentally slip a tire down there. So I want everything to hold up. Okay, that's enough about that. I'm going to get on with getting my brackets up and getting these guys figured out where I need to be so that these are level at ride height. Okay, I'm getting ready to weld my bracket for my lower link. That should work. And once again, that's probably close enough for the girls that old Brown runs around with. Yeah, I think so. Well, here's what they put in that kit for one end of the link to hook to. This end, I guess. That mount down there is pretty good. It's pretty beefy. It's got your shock mount holes there, 3 positions. But on the other end, they give you this. No. That was theirs. This is mine. And this is welded up all the way around on the inside too. And in there. And around there. Around there. And there and there and there. It's gonna be there. Actually, need my bevel there. I'll fill that bevel up with a weld. So there. Yeah, that'll do it.